Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. I began the week making a sympathy card, and I'm going to end the week making another sympathy card. I kind of want to show you guys that it really isn't difficult to make a sympathy card. Um, just think kind of outside the box. Don't go with just strictly black. It doesn't have to be black. I'm going close to black today. I am using a navy blue. So my card, this is GinaK's in the navy, but you can use any blue, dark blue. You just don't want like a bright, vivid blue. This card measures 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. Now I'm going to need a piece of, I'm making a horizontal card today, I believe. 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. And this I'm going to stamp and put on the inside of the card. And then I have this silver textured cardstock. This was from Joann Fabrics years ago. This measures, pardon me, 6.5 by 4.5. And then I have a piece of white that's going to go on top of the silver. And this measures 6 3/8 by 4 3/8. And I use GinaK's Master Layouts 8 to cut both of those. But you don't need those. I included the measurements just in case you don't have them. And then I have this strip of paper that was left over from when I cut my cardstock. Pardon me, when I cut my card blank out of the cardstock. This measures 1 3/4 inches wide, and I have left it whole for now. I'm going to get started by, I'm just going to stamp the inside of my folder. And again, I'm using GinaK's, this is the Wild Blossoms stamp set. Just for the inside of the card, I am going to stamp the same one I used the other day. A stamping platform. And that will just get this out of the way and done so that I can proceed with the rest of the card. And I'm going to put this on the left side. I usually put them on the right, but today I'm going to the left. And I'm going to use, keeping with the blue theme, I'm going with the In the Navy ink. And this may take a couple stampings. Actually, one was just right. All right. Just going to clean that off with my tidy towel. And I'll put that back on here. And this, I'm going to glue and put on the inside of the card. And I see I got some ink smudge on the back of this, but that's okay because it's on the back. I have found one of the reasons I keep getting ink on my fingers, and I don't really notice I'm doing it when I'm stamping, though I do that. The inside of the lids get a lot of ink, and so when I'm picking it up, I end up touching the inside of that. So I have to figure out a way in my mind to stop that from happening. All right, and that looks good. That's on the inside of the card. Okay, now the outside of the card, let me put the ink back on. I'm going to need that in the navy again. But I'm going to stencil first on my white. And I don't need my stencil mat because I'm just going to hit and miss with this. I'm using GinaK's Harvest Flourish, one of my favorite ones, and I'm going with soft stone. And I need a piece of scratch paper. There we go. I need to re-ink this one. And I'm just going to kind of hit and miss very lightly. Just like that. And I'm going to come over here and just do a little bit more. And then I'm going to throw just a little up here. That looks good. I just wanted a hint, and I'll bring it up so you can hopefully see. It's just a very light hint. You can see it better angled that way. But when you're looking at it, it's not that noticeable. Okay, that's all the stenciling I'm going to do, and I'm just going to wipe off, just in case I got any gray ink down here. And I'll clean my stencil off later. Okay, now I'm going to stamp. This should be a fairly straightforward card today, but not necessarily. This I want to use as kind of like a side panel. But I want to use this corner piece from this stamp set. And I want that to go down here. And then from the, which is one, this one's Thoughtful Flowers stamp set, I want to use Thinking of You. Right now I'm just kind of getting a placement. And Wishing You Peace. So I'm going to move that up because I want And Wishing You Peace down in the bottom corner. And then if I do that, then this can go up here. All right. Okay. So let me get the And Wishing You Peace on first. Now I'm going to use black ink on this sentiment. And I'm just using my VersaFine Clear Nocturne because that's usually what's always on my desk. That's good. Now the flower, I want to stamp using the color in the navy. And I can move this down just a little bit. Now I haven't used this stamp, at least I don't remember, so I'm going to condition it. That just gets the coating off the stamp that comes from the factory. And again, I'm going to use in the navy and try not to get my finger inside the lid. I found that blues and grays go really well together for sympathy cards. Now I need a little bit more pressure there. But I'm going to do one more stamping. Put that lid back on. That looks good. Now I'm thinking I need a little bit more of that stencil than I thought I would. So I'm just going to pull the stencil back out and get my gray brush again. I want a little here amongst the flowers. Just use what was on my brush. Now I want to add Thinking of You right about there. I'm going to do that in black. So the contrast of the black and the navy blue, I think, will just add a little touch to the card. And I'll stamp that one more time. Okay, that looks good. I see a little tiny piece that did not ink up very well. So I have these Pentel, not Pentel, Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens. The black is the same color as this ink, and I'm just going to fill in that little tiny spot that didn't get filled in. Okay, now I'm done stamping. I can put my stamping platform away. Now I want to put this on here. Pardon me while I put you on pause. Pardon the interruption. It seems like this cold virus is coming back. I want to emboss this strip. And I have this old Darice embossing folder that looks like little medallions. So I'm just going to take my strip and put it inside. I'm not going to cut it to size yet because I want to make sure it goes end to end. And I'm trying to line this up so that my medallions are fairly straight in here. Now for my sandwich for this, I just need my A plate, my metal shim, the embossing folder, and the A plate. I don't know the name of this embossing folder. It's at least 10 years old. If I can find the name of it, I'll put it in the link below. And seeing how that just gives a nice finish to that. All right, so then I'm envisioning this going here. And I do want a little bit more of that. I'm wanting more of that stencil flourish than I thought I did. So I'm just going to bring the stencil back and still use what's on my brush that I just dropped on the floor. And I'll probably roll over it with my chair. Oh, there it is. Just like that. All right, awesome. So I'm going to glue this down and then cut it out. So I'm going to go from here up. All right. Just adds a little something to that card. You know, when you first get a sympathy card, your mind's not in the right place to really appreciate it. But if you save them and set them aside, it's the little touches later on that make you look back and go, oh, that was a beautiful card. Or how did they think of that? At least I know that happened to me. Now this is going to go on top of here. So sympathy cards don't have to be plain. Now, I know in the moment I didn't really like bright and flashy things. But later on I look back and go, oh, that's beautiful. Where did they get that card? Okay, now this, I'm going to pop this up just a smidgen. So I'm going to use my foam tape. I just want to add a little bit of depth without going overboard on the height. Now, I want to make sure it's on the right spot of the card. I'm just going to put 4 strips. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit, just a little bit of liquid glue on the back of these strips, just in case I don't get it straight at the very beginning. It will give me a little extra time. Now I'm going to stand up so I can see over top. Okay, that looks good, actually. Can't believe I got it on the first try. All right, now I do want to embellish this just the littlest bit. I'm going to use my Wink of Stella Clear and just go over some of the flowers. just to add a little hint of sparkle, like the sun is shining down. And that will add just I don't know if you can see that. It just adds just a light touch. And then I have some clear gemstones. I'm just going to put some out here. I almost want to do silver, but I think, let me grab some silver sequins. I just want to see. Or, hold on. Okay, I've got these. And I'm going to try, let's see what happens when I color this with a gray. Oh, no, that actually turns blue. How about a cool gray? Okay, I think I like that. I'm going to color a couple of these. This is BG050 Cool Gray. And here goes my voice. It really doesn't, it's not much more of a change in color than what's already on here. Let's see. I don't want to do too many on here. You know what? I think just 2. But I am going to take my Wink of Stella again and just hit the highlights on these embossed areas. Right now it's wet, so it's not, it will look wet, but when it dries, it will just have the littlest hint of shine. That's not something the person will appreciate at the beginning because they really won't see it. Then later on, they'll say, oh, that just added a little niceness. Okay. Yeah, and so you really can't see that. It just adds just a touch. All right, that is my card for today. I thank you so much for watching. And I will be back on Monday with some more cards for you. Have a great day and a great weekend.